subscribe. Thank you.
Hi, kid. Every St. Patrick's, we read about leprechauns. And all this reading has taught us two essential things about them. One,
leprechauns are small, magical people who have gold and good luck.
Thank you, Doug the dinosaur. And number two,
don't mess with leprechauns.
As Green Bear once discovered, they get feisty.
I like the taste of feisty.
She's looking for trouble, and most folk find trouble when they try to take the leprechaun's gold.
Everybody knows you don't touch the gold, or else.
A Bala Bear with vaguely menacing but solid advice. Who's ready to go to Ireland?
I got 2 words for you. Irish cheese.
Are you joining us, White Rat?
I repeat, Irish cheese.
That's a yes. Let's go! Long ago, before even your great-grandfather was born, there lived in a small village in Ireland a man known to all as Old Pat. Old Pat was a harpist, and a good one at that. Many a wedding was made the merrier by Old Pat's harp. Ah, that is like Irish butter for the ears. In the same village dwelled young Tom, who immediately, I can't help but notice, has a sour expression. Tom had learned his own harp playing from Pat's teaching, but now Tom thought himself a better harpist than Old Pat. He was much given to boasting and bragging and charging the villagers great amounts of silver for his skills. Sounds like we have a case of a runaway ego.
But isn't it good to be confident?
Ah, yes, Green Bear, but there is confidence, and then there is overconfidence, which makes you mean and insufferable at lunch.
Ah.
Old Pat was humble and willing to play his music for free for those he knew had not the means to pay.
Ah, foolish old man, scoffed young Tom. What use is a gift if not to make you rich?
Old Pat replied, I am rich in friends, and that is enough. And also birds land on his finger, and that is a rich life indeed. It is supposed to be that life would have continued along its way for Old Pat and young Tom had they not seen the announcement. By order of the king, harping contest. A harping contest? To choose the finest harpist in Ireland at the Royal Palace. All may enter. You hear that? I think we're going to the palace. To be known as the best harpist in Ireland would be an honour indeed, said Old Pat.
Don't waste your time, old man, sneered Tom. It's a young man like myself they'll be wanting.
See what I mean? Mean.
And insufferable.
She says it like it's a good thing. But Pat shook his head and gathered his few meager possessions for the journey.
Aha, thought young Tom. If we travel together, he's sure to offer me a bite of his food. That would save me a penny or two.
Wait a minute. So he's gonna be mean to his teacher and he's gonna eat his food? Why, storyteller? Why?
I know. It's despicable.
Obnoxious. Unkind.
It looks to me like Tom forgot to be thankful for his gifts and for those who helped him develop it.
Well, that's a huge bummer. Well, you never know. He could change.
Well, let's see if he does. And so it was that on this night the two sat together by their fire of twigs. They were footsore and weary from walking the many miles to the royal palace. As he listened to Pat practicing for the contest, a sudden thought flashed through young Tom's mind. I could lose to this ridiculous old man. And once again, look at that face. It says sneaky.
It says a plot twist is coming.
What does she know that we don't know? So, as Old Pat turned his head for a second, the wicked boy quickly snapped a string on Pat's harp. What?
Sabotage!
But wait! He's not done being terrible.
Ooh.
And then he pushed his own spare string deep inside his bag.
Oh, I'm sorry for your trouble, he said to Old Pat.
He doesn't mean it.
But I have no string to lend you, for I might need it myself.
Ooh, I see what's happening here. We have some serious cases of sabotage with a side of selfishness.
And Old Pat sighed He had no money to buy a new string. The harping contest was as good as lost.
I'm just going to say it.
Well, she sounds mad.
People like young Tom make me angry.
Well, maybe he will learn and get better, storyteller.
Yeah, you always say that people can change.
I don't know.
Just keep reading.
Maybe he'll say he's sorry on the next page.
Okay, we'll see.
He better.
Sigh. Then suddenly, through the darkness, came a cry. Help! The two men shivered, for they knew tales of tricks played on poor travelers by villain leprechauns.
Villain leprechauns?
Just when you thought things couldn't get worse.
Surely 'tis the little people that's after us,
whispered young Tom. But as the voice rose to a wail, Old Pat's kindness of heart proved stronger than his fear of leprechaun tricks. We must find out who's in trouble, he cried to Tom.
Not I, declared Tom. I'll have nothing to do with it. I'll not take the risk of missing the contest.
And he turned his back to the voice and covered his ears. But not old Pat. Look at him. He's daring to go see if he can help. On shaking legs, old Pat walked toward the sound of the voice. In a clearing, he saw a tiny man with his foot down a rabbit hole. "Help me, sir!" cried the little man. "I took off my shoes to rest my feet, and a rabbit has taken hold of my big toe. Oh, hate it when that happens. Help me!" From deep in the burrow came the shrill laugh of the rabbit. "It's a villainous rabbit!" "Let's go, you rogue!" the little man yelled down the hole. "I'll have you for dinner, you pesky bag of flea-ridden fur!"
You just never know what you're going to find in the Irish countryside late at night.
"I'll soon fix that scoundrel," thought old Pat. He bent down and barked piercingly as a fox might in the night. And the rabbit let out a little scream of fright, and out popped the little man's toe. Saved. "Thank you!" cried the leprechaun. For a leprechaun he was. "Come," said Pat, trying not to laugh for a funnier sight he thought never to see. "I've not much to offer, but what I have you're welcome to share." Old Pat led the leprechaun back to that nice crackling fire.
"Oh, I see your fellow traveller has up and gone," said the leprechaun. "A brave fellow indeed he proved to be, but I thank you kindly for your help. I'd like to repay you."
"Ah, I'll be needing no payment," answered old Pat. He picked up his harp and began to play a soft tune to soothe the little man. And maybe us too.
"You play well," said the leprechaun, "but I'm thinking your harp is not in a good way."
"Oh, I've a broken string," answered old Pat sadly. "I'm on my way to the harping contest at the Royal Palace, but I'll not win now. I have no money to buy a new string."
"Ah!"
declared the leprechaun sharply.
"So, it's the gold you'll be wanting."
"No, indeed," cried old Pat, mighty alarmed, because old Pat knows what we know, which is, "Don't touch the gold, don't ask for the gold, don't steal the gold, or else something. He knew terrible things happened to those who searched for crocks of leprechaun gold.
"Ah, but yes, I think it's so,"
answered the leprechaun firmly. Oh no, he didn't ask for the gold. He was just merely mentioning that the string was lost and it's too expensive for him to replace. He does not need another bad thing to happen to him. Suddenly, old Pat's eyes would not stop from closing. I think a little magic has happened here. A little sleeping magic, you know what I'm saying? With a sigh, he fell asleep. And the leprechaun blew a silvery note on his whistle. Out of the forest came a band of little men, each carrying a bag. "He wants the gold," said the leprechaun as he told the tale of old Pat. "You know what to do." The little men nodded solemnly as they clicked open their bags. "Ooh, now he's gonna get it." But he didn't ask for the gold. When old Pat awakened the next morning, he looked around in fright, but the leprechaun was gone. "Oh, it's a lucky escape I've had," cried old Pat as he picked up his harp case and set off for the royal palace.
And you know, they've got the good cheese up there.
You know they do. As old Pat reached the courtyard, well, look who's already there. Young Tom. He took the stage looking mighty pleased and confident. He began to play a sweet tune, but as if bewitched. The strings on his harp began, boing, to break. Boing, boing, boing. One by one, boing, boing. They twanged and twitched and twirled in the air, boing, 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 until all lay dangling. Oh, my. Young Tom gazed at his harp in horror, but then he knew. "Leprechauns," he muttered as he hung his head and shuffled from the stage.
Okay, honestly, that's not what I was expecting, but I like it.
Well, leprechaun justice did come quick. Now it was old Pat's turn. With sadness in his heart, the old man reached for his harp. Then his eyes widened, for there, inside his bag, lay a glittering, golden harp. "Oh, the leprechaun's gold!" gasped old Pat. The gold not taken, but given in gratitude for his goodness. He lifted the golden harp and began to play. He played the merriest music ever heard, so wonderful that the wind itself stopped to listen. A wild tune it was, which filled the people's hearts with joy and their lips with laughter. As the magic seized their feet, the people began to dance. Soon the courtyard was filled with a dancing, singing, laughing crowd. The other harpists knew now that this was Pat's day and danced along with the people. Even young Tom, who had learned a hard lesson, found generosity growing in his heart.
Look, he changed, Storyteller.
He learned that being bad is,
Bad.
bad. Yeah, being bad is bad.
Do you feel better now?
I do!
Me too.
Me three.
When the final note faded away, the king rose from his throne and beckoned to Pat. "Old man," said the king, "the prize is yours. Never have I heard such music. From now on, you will play always for me and my people. You are awarded the title Royal Harpist of Ireland." Yes, goodness wins!
Yeah, that's good and everything. If anyone asks for me, Storyteller, I'm at the cheese bar.
I'll hold your messages. And from the nearby forest came the tinkling sound of a little leprechaun laughing.
Because kindness was rewarded.
And happiness was created.
And all was right in the world. And kid, if you want to sprinkle us with a little bit of good luck, like this video, would you? And maybe subscribe.